Hey everyone, and welcome to Big Red Homestead. And oh boy, oh man, today we're breaking down the Maryland-Nebraska game, and it was a tough one to say the least. We definitely have some rants in store today. This is an instant reaction to the game. We just watched the 15-minute highlight video and broke it down, put it on Patreon, and here we are going through it all, the pros, the cons, and probably some ranting near the end of the video about this offense. So we have a lot to talk about. Caleb, how you doing?
I'm going to save, how I'm feeling, how I'm actually feeling until we get to
just that smile through moment. The pain.
Yeah,
man.
I'll insert how I'm feeling. I'll let you know further, but let's start with the good. That's how I'm feeling right now.
I love this.
Is I can't open the can of worms until we get to it.
We're a positive channel, right?
Yeah, exactly. Positive, encouraging, Big Red Homestead. Let's start with the great defense. Oh my goodness, they played an absolute outstanding game. Josh and I were worried about this game going into the week because we weren't sure our defense was able to make enough plays. We played solid, but we didn't get the takeaways. We got 0 takeaways last game. It was a big charge for our defense. If we're going to win a game like Maryland with a great quarterback, we got to get the ball. And what did we do? We got the ball multiple times this game in huge situations in the red zone. Javen Wright with just a nasty pick with a forced fumble.
Forced fumble, dude?
Dude. And
Omar Brown, let's pass
ripping the ball away.
What was one thing we said? What was one thing we said last week? Is that we said Javen Wright has to play all game, and we cannot
take away John Bullock.
See John Bullock on the field in this game. And voila, it was like a magic wand. So that was great to see Javen dominate, and so again a nice bounce back game for him, which gets you excited again going into Wisconsin. The continued hope and potential. There's hope still for a win against Wisconsin. To be fair, as we're currently recording, I mean, there's still hope for the Big Ten West.
Northwestern's up 24-3. I mean, knock on wood.
We'll come on,
Northwestern, pull it out.
But yeah, either way, it's like just on the defensive side, you have to be excited about the individual plays, and overall, with the worries going into this game with how well they could throw the ball and dump off it to the sidelines, we contained this offense, kept Talia in check the entire game. The screen passes, none of them went for more than 10 yards. We were really keeping the game in front of us.
They were
bend don't break. The turnovers obviously were beyond clutch, but we've been waiting for that in this whole season, essentially, for the bailouts and the turnovers, and we were due a few, and so finally to execute on those things was really exciting. And my goodness, I mean, the big boys inside, Ty and Nash, were playing an insane game.
Goodness.
And Ty had a stretch there. That was unreal.
Yeah, in the first quarter, just tackle for loss, tackle for loss, tackle for loss. It was huge. It was the difference in that first quarter. I mean, you love to see it. These guys, again, we played solid, but just didn't make plays last week. And that was absolutely a race with a better team, with a tougher challenge. Things you just wanted to see. And again, Javen Wright. 2, Omar Brown ripping the ball away, making big hits. Omar Brown made his impact. He made Maryland feel him all game, and multiple guys did. And that's all you want on the defense. Again, it was dominant contact, what we were used to seeing. And again, they hit us for some big shots, as we kind of figured they might. But we know when they didn't have the wind, it's tough sledding.
Right. I mean, obviously, we got a little lucky with the wind being such a factor in this game, especially considering Quentin Newsome got ruled out just out of nowhere before the game. So there was no cue the whole game. And, I think when all of Husker Nation heard that news, we were like, oh no, buckle in. This is going to be a long day. I mean, Talia ended up throwing 40 times for 283 yards. So he did end up stacking up the yards a little bit. That's 7.1 yards per completion. So that's not too bad, all things considered.
I mean, he's thrown for 250 essentially for every game this year. He didn't quite get to 300 though, which is good. So that was nice.
Right. So I mean, again, long story short, mostly we kept him in check, and he was obviously really frustrated at points during this game.
We were frustrating on defense.
Yeah. So the defense did their job, and we continue to see
they were dogs.
Which is good to see as well, because it was a rebound from last week, like you said, the disappointing performance. And so now we're kind of back on track to that continual improvement and dominance that we saw before. It's a little worrying that it didn't happen on the road in a Michigan State game when everything
we needed
was lined up for us to win a game like that. So, then when you start projecting that forward to Wisconsin next week, you really hope that we can start stacking together some performances here.
I think so much had to do with last week. I mean, I think they just didn't know who they were preparing for QB and prepared for the wrong guy. I think that was just so much of the defensive game plan.
It's possible.
I obviously got to prepare for all three, but I believe more of that than we came out flat. That's what I think.
I mean, I agree. Last week, we didn't feel like we had as strong of a game plan on the defensive side that had as strong of an identity or knew exactly how we wanted to attack them. This week, it definitely did seem like that.
Oh, we did.
Also, the 3-3-5 does match up pretty well against these air raid style offenses. It does keep.
We were on a lot of stack this week.
So, but either way, not easy to hold a team like Maryland to that few amount of points and give your offense so many chances. And it's for us not to win, even though you force that many turnovers and give yourself so many chances. That's what makes it so disappointing. I mean, 8 total turnovers in the game. We forced 3 turnovers and didn't win.
Our defense held Maryland to the least amount of points they've scored all season. Better than Penn State, who had the best statistical defense all season. This can't be understated. Our defense came to play with multiple turnovers, multiple times. Yeah, like you said, dominant defensive performance against the guy who is leading the Big Ten in pass yards. And so, I mean, come on, this is just that's just impressive. Our defense, it makes you mad. When our defense steps up in a way this way, especially again, they answer the bell to last week where we did not play a good enough game on defense.
I know.
And then this week again, we come in to huge turnovers.
Right. But again, so this is why both of us picked Maryland to win the game, right?
Yes.
Last week. I mean, I think I said almost verbatim in the game. I said, I have a high level of confidence that this defense will hold Maryland to under 20 points. It just more comes down to, can we even get close to 20? And we got our answers. So many of our factors on the defensive side came true. We did get to the perimeter well. We did tackle well in space. We did keep the game in front of us. We did limit the big plays. And we did force the turnovers. We actually got pressure on Talia and forced him to make some mistakes, except the offense just could not convert. So before we talk about the negatives on the offensive side, I mean, let's just talk at least a few of the positives. I mean, the shining star once again is Emmett Johnson. Obviously, he's the lead here on the offensive side. Continues to break out, I would say, and this has been a continued breakout for a while now. The first few games, you're getting a little warm, fuzzy feeling inside. You're like, dude, yeah,
there's some flash.
He's looking nice. He's looking a little flashy. Mm-hmm. And then last week, you're starting to be like, okay, he could be a every down type of player. And this week, you're starting to think he could be special. We're starting to see the actual playmaking ability. I mean, that 20-something yard run he had to the right side and cut back. I mean, that was, dare I say, Amir Abdullah-esque.
17 carries, had 20 total touches, averaged 4.9 yards per carry. Yeah, that huge run. It's impressive. I mean, yeah, it's starting to build. It's starting to build for Emmett Johnson. And imagine if he got the touch, one more touch. That's all we needed on 3rd and 4.
Right, yeah. All he needed was one more touch and we would have won the game probably. Bro. Yeah, he ended up with 20 touches, like you said. I mean, 17 carries, 3 receptions. He's getting involved all over the field. And
he's physical. He's physical.
If there's one thing we know in football is that when a coach is starting to dial up plays for a player, it's because they are an X factor. They're a difference maker. And I think we're seeing that now with Emmett Johnson with the ball in space. And so that's a huge plus. I mean, one thing I think that you definitely mentioned was the offensive line and the improvement there overall when it comes to our execution in the running game, especially.
It's the best pocket I've seen all year. They only allowed 1 sack, and then we had 3 different QBs in and only allowing 1 sack. That's pretty impressive in itself.
Right.
We dropped back 21 too many times this game, and so it looked good. And I think there was a lot of good push too on the run game. I mean, we saw multiple times them getting downfield, blocking well. I was excited for how a lot of them played. I thought Ben Scott played a better game than he's played most of the season, especially in the run game. And, there's a lot of good push and again, that left side really seems to be our strength and continued to look that way this week, getting a lot of push. I thought Borkature did a really good job as well.
Again, this was a Maryland. I'm sorry, I completely cut you off, but this is a Maryland team that gave up was 16th in the country in yards per rush and 19th in the country in sack percentage and 30th in the country in opponents' interception percentage, which we definitely increased those numbers.
Man, they really improved.
I mean, this was no slouch of a defense by any means, and so to have the success there, like you said, is pretty exciting.
Yeah, I mean, you just wish we ran it more. I mean, is there any more positives that we could think? Billy Kemp was back. Billy Kemp was
having
back,
Billy
which was
Kemp,
nice.
and he made like what 2 big time catches where you're like, okay, this guy is
Chubba Purdy 24-yard catch that gets us into a chance to win the game with 3 minutes and 30 seconds left.
You would like to see more of it. There was even a few plays where it was a little bit late to him, and you're like, man, like that could have gone for more if he gets there earlier. So it continues to show that Billy is the best receiver we have left by a mile.
Yep.
And so it's good to have him back. Obviously, I mean he'll be crucial in any.
He'll be an X factor. He'll be an X factor in these next couple games for us,
for sure.
Is there any other positives? Are we missing? Can we squeeze any more juice? I will say this.
Borgature has some nice field, blocks downfield.
Oh yeah, Janier and Bonner. We gotta say the great touchdown.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I squeeze any more. Okay. Before halftime, the 2-minute offense with Jeff Sims looked pretty nice for a second there. Can I say some flash? There was a flash of something there from Jeff Sims for the first time. And a little itty sprinkle for Purdy for a second. For like a measly second, he had a nice little run. We drove down the field 90 yards before, calamity struck. Which I don't even know if it's on Purdy. I don't even think it's on Purdy. You can't ask. You shouldn't ask your third string. It wasn't great at all. But you shouldn't ask your third string quarterback to pass on 3rd and 4 when you have a chance to go up in the red zone. I mean, when you got a running back who's been doing
a drop back pass. Wasn't even a play action. Wasn't even a rollout. It was
just straight drop back pass
to your 5'8" slot receiver.
Yeah, nothing like a little fade route to the shortest dude on the field. That's what they do with Tyler Lockett, right?
Every time. Yeah, and Billy Kemp's definitely Tyler Lockett.
So Lord have mercy. Now that we've said as much nice things as we could possibly say, time to ask how I'm feeling. And you know how I'm feeling, Nebraska fans? I'm feeling like crap. Okay? That was some of the dumbest play calling I have seen. I mean, I've seen a lot of dumb play calling in the last few years. I mean, we've seen a lot. As Nebraska fans, we have been through, we've endured, we've persevered through so much trial and tribulations over these last 6, now 7 years. And you know what? It's just garbage. I mean, what were we thinking or doing half the time?
They weren't thinking.
We weren't. We don't go to the place that
as in Marcus Satterfield.
The speed option. We said this last week. We might just run it. Just run it. We run it like 2 times.
This is
one of our best plays.
This is the thing. One of the keys to the game last week for me was we need to get back to our identity, right? What's our identity?
Run the dang ball.
Run the dang ball. Run the dang ball. Use speed option, and then throw the ball at like we're snipers out there. Only throw the ball when it only
11 times a game is the best formula.
Sense. Right.
Run it. Run it.
And if we are going to
success when it was
that's what's more insane too.
Us.
I know. And
read option we were crushing it with the read option all game.
If we stuck to our identity and ran the ball, ran the speed option, if we were getting to the edges like the Janier and Bonner end around for a touchdown, like these are all things we talked about in the predictions video. Like these are the X factors here. If we get to the edges, that's how we win this game. If we establish the run, if we wear them down, if we stick to our identity, if we don't force the ball downfield, if you don't force the ball into the wind, if you don't force the ball into the wind after already throwing 3 picks into the wind when you're in the red zone.
What are we throwing into the wind? All of our picks happen into the wind. Yeah, there's one common correlation. We're throwing into 50 to 35 mile an hour wind with quarterbacks who aren't that accurate anyway. I wonder what's going to happen. Oh, nothing good.
Oh, and with freshman wide receivers. Oh, and we're only running 2 routes. There's only 2 guys running a route.
What's up with this? This is a great point. What on earth is up with our third down plays where we know we're going to pass and there's 2 guys, we're going max
running a switch route.
Yeah, and they're dropping back in coverage and we think that our quarterback's going to fit it in some tight window.
Downfield on 3rd and 5?
Yeah, and we're running 15 to 20 yard route trees. What are we thinking? On the same, what are we thinking?
Into the wind, none of that works. Freshman receiver.
We have to get 5 yards.
Third string quarterback.
5 yards. You know what we need to do? Run 20 yard routes. That makes sense. That's so reasonable. There's no outlet. There's no dump off to try and help our freshman quarterbacks. No, sink or swim, 15 yards.
Yeah, I don't understand.
I can't comprehend.
We keep just running these max protect 2 route tree plays.
And it never works. It's never worked.
I don't understand. And again, only running 2 or 3 speed options in a game where we had two of them work fairly well early.
It's been our most efficient play. Everybody say it with me. All season, every game, it has been our most effective, gets our most yards per play. And no, it's not run out. And no, they can't stop it. And guess what? If they do, that's when we're snipers. That's when we pull those safeties down. That's when you throw the ball. When they've bit. When you've got them. That's when it's a gotcha. We want the gotcha moment. And what do we have? None of that. And it looked so easy for their defense all game in pass.
When the picks were literally just right to them. I mean, they weren't even hard. They weren't even tough picks.
And they were just so dumb. I mean,
Rule gave credit to the slot corner on the end zone pick, which, I mean, it was a decent play, or the edge corner. It was a decent play, but like...
It was a bad call. It was a bad play call. That's what it was. I feel like, I mean, we're not giving our quarterbacks any help with some of the garbage play call that we've seen. I mean, we are asking them to do way too much that they are not able or capable of doing. And that's just unfair to those three QBs. I mean, clearly, if every single QB throws a pick, is it because each one of them choked? No. Right. Is it because each one didn't do their job? No. It's because your offensive coordinator, the guy calling the plays, at some point has failed every single one of those three. This is the first time. The first.
Yeah, can we confirm this?
Time in NCAA college football history.
Is this real?
Is this real?
I have no idea. Just say it.
I know. I think this is real. The first time. That's three. Yes, three. Yes, three quarterbacks have thrown a different pick in a single game. I mean, come on. This is the first time ever.
That's hard to believe, but at the same time, maybe not. I don't know. But yeah, like you said, like again,
we do astonishing things.
I tweeted
or at least it's probably tied.
I tweeted on the Big Red Homestead account, which, by the way, follow us, Big Red Homestead on X/Twitter. But like, yeah, calling a corner fade, throwing into the wind at the goal line with a third string quarterback with multiple freshman wide receiver to the wide receiver who's missed the last 2 weeks, who's also the shortest wide receiver on our team, after your other two quarterbacks already threw a combined 3 interceptions into the wind against a team that has only put up 7 points on your defense, when all you need is a field goal to go up 13, to go up by 3 points in the fourth quarter.
What are we doing? What are we doing? I mean,
this is the real question here.
Marcus Satterfield is absolutely failing.
Is there anything Satterfield can do to not get fired? I mean, like, if you had to put your money on it, would Satterfield be fired?
No, I don't think he will. But he should.
I know. I think I'm with you, which is what sucks.
I don't think he's gonna. It's year one.
It's year one. Our quarterbacks are bad.
It's been one year too many of Marcus.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my goodness. Like,
I genuinely think that game alone.
You have to be, at some point, it's the coach's fault. I mean, all three dudes throw QBs, and right. You brought in Jeff Sims, and he didn't deliver for you.
And he's
now
worse.
You're pulling into the bag of guys that
he's worse than he was at Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
So to me, something's wrong there. So, I would absolutely fire Marcus Satterfield after this season.
You sold the bag. You absolutely sold the bag on
it's not. I would so quickly fire Marcus Satterfield. It wouldn't even be like a second decision. Like, it wouldn't even be a second thought. At this point, the offense hasn't developed basically at all throughout the entire season.
No, it's
the play calling sucks.
Here we are 10 games later, losing the exact same score
as the Minnesota game. It's the same score and the same narrative.
Yeah, in a walk-off field goal because our offense could not score.
It's literally the same game.
Points. It was the same.
It's deja vu of the last game. End zone touchdown, end zone pick.
Only our defense played even better than the Minnesota game.
Probably, yeah.
Our defense improved.
I mean, dude, it's scary. It's down to the wire. Literally end zone pick, game-winning field goal, 13-10.
Our defense gets the field driven down.
This one's at home. Even worse.
It's at home. Yeah. It's disappointing.
Yeah, you're right. The defense played better because the offense we're playing Maryland, which is a better offense.
Yeah, it was a much better offense.
Man.
And we had I don't think we had 3 takeaways in the Minnesota game, did we? It was close.
No, just one, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So it was impressive. It was an impressive game for our defense. They did so well.
Yeah, one.
They deserved to go to a bowl game this game after that play, after the way they played.
Unreal, dude. It's unreal. Satterfield, yeah, bro. Oh my word.
I can't believe some of the calls. Again, where only 2 guys are running a route on 3rd down. That play hasn't worked all season.
This is the issue. Again, like now we've seen the exact same offense now, 4 weeks in a row? Dude.
And it doesn't matter. The quarterback wins in there.
And so we finally saw all 3 quarterbacks play, and what did we learn, Caleb? They all suck.
Nothing changes. Nothing changes. I think Jeff Sims shows the most flash. But I mean, what are we doing?
Here's a fun question. At this point, who do you want to start in the Wisconsin game? Let's assume all 3 are healthy.
I don't know. I say we each give them a quarter.
Just blindfold them and just throw them out there?
I mean, honestly, you might as well. Just shuffle them up. Pull
Surprise
straws.
him on the game day. Yeah, pull straws.
Doesn't matter.
Every drive.
Marcus Satterfield's going to put him in position to lose each time.
Oh, man.
I mean, each of them showed that they could run a little bit. They have a little bit of that ability. Each of them can kind of throw. And each of them will make a really bad mistake. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's brutal. It's brutal.
I don't care. I just want to score points somehow.
I think I would go with Jeff Sims, honestly. This is a complete turn of events after 2 weeks ago.
Jeff Sims didn't fumble a snap this time, so now I'm ready for Jeff Sims, I think.
I mean, see, that's my thing. At this point, everyone else is going to fumble. Everyone's going to fumble. Everyone's going to throw picks. And Satterfield's going to be a problem no matter what. So
might as well go down with the guy you brought in now.
May as well go down with the captain of the ship, right? Yeah, exactly. So at this point,
everybody wants the Jeff Sims Amigos combo meal, you know?
Yeah, come on. We love the Jeff Sims Amigos meal so much that we want to go down with the Jeff Sims
by the way, not sponsored, but hey,
could be
Amigos. We could be.
It's going to be weird looking back on this season because if you would have told me we had 5 wins going into the Wisconsin game, I would have been pretty happy with that. I would be actually very happy with that, to be honest. I would have been thrilled. I mean, both of us predicted 6. Yeah, you're right. Maybe not thrilled. But both of us predicted 6 wins on the season. So it's still there. It's still possible. It's just not exactly how we thought it was going to happen. But
yeah, I mean, we just dropped the ball on 2 amazing opportunities back-to-back weeks.
In the moment, it just sucks when you know that we could be at, 7
or 8 wins.
Yeah, 8. Really 8.
Yeah, Minnesota.
Michigan State, Maryland. The M's. And Michigan. Dang, bro. Don't play the M teams. M rated.
No. I guess M really is before N.
That's it. All right, guys. That's Big Red Homestead. Thanks for watching us. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Let us know what you think. What do we need to do? Tell Marcus Satterfield the play calls. Let him know. Should we keep him? Does he deserve another year? I want to know what you think. Yeah, if you want to watch Josh and I cringe and just shudder in pain, be sure to check out our Patreon for the film breakdown where we just see the pain. And also we get to check out the next team. I feel like we saw Maryland pretty well this game and our defense crushed it. I was just our offense. It really still needs to figure it out.
Yeah. Drop a comment down below with your hottest take and your biggest reaction. As always, I'm Josh. That's Caleb. This has been Big Red Homestead. And guys, we'll see you next time.
Go Big Red, baby.